ready for true happiness, for deep fulfillment, for feeling alive, on purpose, and in control of your life again? It's time to be the bold, brilliant, beautiful woman you were born to be. Welcome to the Purpose Girl Podcast. I'm women's happiness and life purpose expert Karen Rockkind, and I'm going to teach you how to live on purpose, feel alive, and be happy in every aspect of life. I'm going to get real about my life and interview women who are living on purpose so that you can finally live yours. Welcome to the show.
Hello, my purpose girls. I have such a super special, super fun, super juicy, delicious, going to change your whole world, change your life, transformational, powerful, amazing, yummy, delicious surprise and special announcement for you. That's why I'm doing this special episode. It's so super yummy. I'm so excited. I can't even wait. And I actually had taped an episode for you that was supposed to be launched a few days ago and gave you more backstory, and it didn't tape. And we tried to download something else I did. It didn't tape. And it turns out to be perfect that it didn't, because I am just back from a weekend away with two of my dear friends. It was my soul sister, one of my best friends, Stacey's 50th birthday. And we went away this weekend. We went away for a night to the beach. And it was so what mama needed. I didn't even know how much I needed this. But we went away and we got 2 glorious days. We got the sunshine. We sat on the beach. We laughed. We talked. We went deep. We talked about our desires. We spent time talking about how awesome our lives are and what we have done to get here. And we danced on the beach and we sang songs and we connected and we got to hug because now we're all vaccinated and it was possible. And it was so rejuvenating. My soul literally feels like I can breathe again. It was so needed. And that is even more so why I am so excited about this announcement that I have for you. Because I'm now sitting on the other side of a girls' weekend away, and a powerful one with goddesses, where we keep it high vibe, where we connect deeply, where we have fun, where we are transforming our lives. And I know how powerful and how important and rejuvenating it is. And that is why I am so excited to share with you. Can I get a drum roll, please? The very, very, very first My Goddess Getaway in Miami Beach is happening, going down. I'm hosting this retreat for you for 25 goddesses. Only 25 goddesses. We are going to Miami Beach. Yes, going to Miami. That's a little Will Smith, in case you couldn't tell. I sound nothing like him. But we are going to Miami Beach. It's going to be so juicy, so restorative, so rejuvenating, and I am so excited to do this with you and for you. Oh my goddess. And it gets even better because we have secured the most spectacular location for this retreat. Are you ready? Can I get another drum roll, please? I know you're either driving or maybe you're listening at home and your kids are looking at you like you're weird. That's cool too. So let me get a drum roll. We are holding My Goddess Getaway, Miami, at the Versace Mansion. Yes, the Versace Mansion. Now, this is so big. This is huge. This is amazing. And let me tell you why. If you have never seen or stepped inside of the Versace Mansion in Miami, first of all, you may have seen it in the TV show or movie or whatever that was. It is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Versace himself brought in small mosaic tiles, each tile hand-selected by him to create the most beautiful dolphin-like pool you have ever seen. From the minute that you step into the mansion, the air is magical, and it feels like you've stepped into a villa in Italy. And you are suddenly in front of a water fountain that is planked by goddesses. And everywhere you look, you turn to the left and there are statues of goddesses. And you turn to the right and there are statues of goddesses. The divine feminine is everywhere. And so the moment you step into the Versace mansion, you feel beautiful. And your whole body relaxes in that beauty. And this Goddess Getaway is happening August 20th to the 22nd. It's going to be an entire weekend with me where I get to pamper you, where I get to hug you, where I get to love on you, where you will be loved by soul sisters that you don't even know. I get to take you through deep, powerful, transformative exercises where you will get so clear on what your soul deeply desires. You will awaken to all that is possible for you in your life. You will get that sense of deep knowing of who you are and what is beautiful and spectacular about you. You will have that reflected for you by me, by other goddesses. You're going to unleash that inner goddess within you and powerfully release any baggage, any of the voices that are telling you it's not possible or that you aren't capable. I'm going to take you through powerful exercises to shed that and leave it so that by the time you leave Miami, you feel so rejuvenated. Plus, we've just been in a beautiful environment. Plus, we're going to do sunrise yoga on the beach. Plus, we may or may not, hint, we will, run into the ocean after our sunrise yoga. And I have been known to do a little skinny dipping in the ocean. Not that anyone can see because I take off my bathing suit once I'm in the ocean. And we will play like mermaids and dolphins. And because we are shifting with COVID, it's not over by any means. And so much love to people who are experiencing illness and the loss of loved ones, and in countries where the vaccines are not yet making their way around. Here in the United States, anyone over 12 who wants the vaccine can get one. And that's why we're able to do this retreat. And I am so excited because if you love having me coach you on the podcast and hearing me in your ear, or you've been in any of my online Zoom groups or my Facebook group, the Purpose Girls Facebook group, and you love that support and you get invigorated and inspired by my coaching and by my teaching, Goddess, you are going to be blown away being with me in person. Because in person, let me tell you what's going to happen. The moment I see you, I'm going to get to gently place my hands on your face and look you in the eyes and welcome you and tell you how beautiful you are and see you for the goddess that you are. And we're all going to get to celebrate the strength and the courage that we have built through the pandemic. And we're all going to use, the pandemic, COVID has been a time of really reevaluating, what is my life? Who am I? What do I want? And that's why this retreat, this Goddess Getaway, my Goddess Getaway, is coming at the perfect time. And I have so many juicy surprises for you. We're going to have a meal at the Versace Mansion. Now, let me tell you why this is a big deal. Now, I've held retreats at the Versace Mansion for years. I developed a relationship with them a few years ago. It was a fluke accident that we ended up there. The same hotel group that owns the Versace Mansion owned another hotel where we had booked the conference room. And 2 days before that particular event years ago, they started doing construction on the room. And so they said, we can't hold your meeting, but good news, we're going to hold it at the Versace Mansion instead. Well, I was like, okay, this is one of those moments where the goddess does something even better than you could possibly ever imagine. And that's why I consider myself a magical womanifester in my life. And we all were in such heaven being in that mansion. And we got to know the people who run the mansion, and they loved Purpose Girl. They love what we did. They were so excited. So we had a relationship for several years. But after the movie came out, it became so much more difficult to get into the Versace Mansion. It's booked. It's booked for months and months and months. It might even be booked out for a year. And then with the pandemic and us not holding a retreat last year, there's been a turnover in staff there. They don't know Purpose Girl anymore. And so when we called them to host my Goddess Getaway, Miami there, they didn't even know who we were. But Josh, my amazing husband and business partner, worked his magic. And we are now able to have our retreat at the mansion. so that you can be surrounded by beauty and step into that glorious goddess that you are. Now, here's the thing, goddess. I announced this a couple of days ago, literally just, I think, 3 days ago, and it's already over 30% full. Like immediately, women just started signing up. Like I think we're all ready to get out of Dodge, right? Like anyone else, raise your hand if you feel like the pandemic has made you feel like a caged jaguar, right? Like we are jaguars. I know Glennon Doyle calls us cheetahs. Like I think of us as jaguars, as like beautiful, sleek, gorgeous goddess selves. Like we've been caged and it's time to uncage. And after spending this weekend at the beach with two of my goddess soul sisters, I am even more committed to you going away on this goddess getaway with me. Because I feel so at peace having just taken a couple of days for myself. I feel so invigorated. Like yesterday on the beach, we were just going crazy, having so much fun, laughing. We stayed up like a slumber party all night. We had all gone to summer camp and we were singing camp songs. And it's the kind of thing that you can only do with other women. And it was so fun, like in our jammies. And we spent time bragging and celebrating and each talking about the ways that we've grown in life. And we talked about the things that don't serve us anymore and that haven't served us and the thought patterns and all that. And we released and we released and we celebrated and we rose up. And it was so juicy that even coming home last night to Shay crying when I didn't let him stick his finger in a light socket and him acting like I was the worst mommy in the whole wide world, even that didn't shake me because I am full, right? Like what happens when you're so busy at work and you're just serving and serving your boss, your employees, everybody else, or you're so busy with your kids and you're just serving and serving and serving. And us women, it's like we become last and last and last on our list. And the only thing we're maybe doing is like going to get a pedicure every once in a while. But when you become so depleted, do you ever notice then that like your temper is super short and you then take it out? You can't help but like react and take it out on others that you love? Or do you ever notice that your mind starts going crazy and like really starts making up stories about all that's wrong and what's going on and why this is bad and why that person is bad or why you're bad and attacks yourself? Or do you ever just notice that you're so exhausted that all you want is just the glass of Chardonnay and Netflix and That's why we need a goddess getaway. Even just 2 days rejuvenates your soul, sister. I'm telling you because I'm on the other side of it. And I have to tell you, going away for a friend's birthday is totally the kind of thing that I would do all the time before I had kids. All the time. And so knowing Stacey's 50th was coming up, I didn't even hesitate. I didn't even think about it. I just said to her, hey, how about I get a group of your girlfriends together and we'll all take you to the beach. It'll be so fun. Like I didn't even think about, oh, you're a mom now and maybe you can't do that. But as soon as I invited the women, I thought, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to leave my 10-and-a-half-month-old baby? And am I a shitty mom? And I don't want Josh to come. It's going to be girls. And like, does that make me a shitty wife? Like, I had all those thoughts start coming up in ways that I never used to. And so I talked to Josh and he was like, absolutely, you need this. Go. And I know I'm blessed. I know not every partner or husband does that. And they all need to. Because the way I feel on the other side, I'm like so juicy about him. And this morning I came up to him to give him extra kisses and I feel so yummy toward him. And I just want extra hugs. And like it benefits our partners when we feel full, when we feel fulfilled, when we feel alive. But then a week ago, I spent a night away with a client. And when I came back, Shay wanted nothing to do with me. He had suddenly become a daddy's boy, cried when I took him. And I thought, oh my God, I can never go away. I'm a horrible mother. I'm a horrible mother. And I bought into that old story for a minute. And then I started leaning in to girlfriends and asking, has this ever happened to you? What's your experience? And started reading about it. And I learned this is so normal, right? Like this is just a stage of development. I was a little bit afraid to go away again because I thought, if I go away, is he going to do this again, right? But I also know from working with literally thousands of women that when mama is full and alive, her children feel full and alive and happy. But when mama is depleted and her children feel that too. So I know that prioritizing my care is utmost important to my son's well-being and happiness. And I'll tell you, he was none the worse for the wear. I came home last night. He was all kissy for me. He loved me. He was happy with me. Well, until I didn't let him stick his finger in the socket, right? So like, if you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, I would love to go on My Goddess Getaway Miami, but I can't because of my kids. You remember, I have a 10-month-old and I did it. And my other 2 girlfriends, they have teenagers and they did it. It is possible. And they are each single moms and they figured it out. So it is possible. And all of us feel so much more alive and juicy having spent that time. And you know what? This has been my experience time and time again when I have been stuck in life. In fact, when I felt stuck about 15 years ago, totally with the wrong guy, totally like not my first husband, but the next guy after that was just like him. But I was so afraid to leave him because I thought at that point I'm 30 and I knew my mom went through early menopause. And what if I never was able to find anybody again? And at the same time, I felt stuck in my corporate job because it just wasn't for me. It was automotive and that wasn't me. So I just felt stuck in every aspect of my life. And my therapist suggested I go on a retreat. Now, I didn't even know what that meant. But when she talked about going away with a group of women, something inside of me was excited. Like, yes, I need that. And a part of me was terrified. Like, what if I hate them? What if they hate me? What if this is miserable and I want to turn around and go home? But then I met Jackie, the amazing wise woman, goddess who runs these retreats. And she was so tender and so loving. She taught me so much about women's empowerment and how to be a coach and how to run retreats. And so I thank you, Jackie Lowe Stevenson, for teaching me. And so I decided to go on this retreat. Now, I tell you, I was so scared to show up. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it. I can't do it, right? I'm driving there and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, you don't know these people. And what do you hate camping? Why are you doing this? And I parked and I almost didn't go in. And I walked like halfway down this pathway and I was like, turn around, Karen, turn around. And I thought, no, you're going to do it. You're going to go. I thought the worst thing that happens is I hate it and I never have to come back to another retreat. Or if I hate it, I can go home in the middle. And so I walked a few steps forward and I started hearing women laughing. And a part of me felt so like envious, like, oh, I want that. But then I thought, oh no, they're all best friends and they're not going to want a new person. And again, I told myself the worst thing that happens is that you hate it and you go home, or you tell them you're sick and that you can't participate in anything. And so I kept going. And I will tell you immediately, this beautiful, beautiful, silver-haired, gorgeous woman came up to me with a hug and introduced herself and said, hi, welcome. And then another woman said hello to me. And the 3 of us sat down and talked and connected with other women. And they were so loving. And by the end of the weekend, I was with women who were age range from 20 to 75. And the wisdom and the connection and the sharing and the love and the support and the laughing and the howling at the moon and the dancing and the feeling awkward and all of it. And on the very last day, we went on the silent hike and Jackie took us to a cliff and said, walk up to the cliff and throw out what no longer serves you, what you need to leave behind. I knew I need to leave this old relationship behind and the idea that I need to be in a relationship. The idea that I can't pursue my dreams. I can't do it on my own. And even though I was terrified to do that, eventually I stepped forward and I did. And the women were so loving and so supportive and cheering me on that they then became sisters for years, probably for life. I bet I could reach out to some of them now. I haven't seen them in 15 years, but several of us stayed in contact for a couple of years after that. That's what is built in this kind of weekend. And that's what I want for you. So if the pandemic has left you feeling caged and you just want to break free and have a little fun and feel that wild sense of abandon and get clear on who you are and what you're all about, or the pandemic has left you feeling so isolated and alone and no longer beautiful, maybe you feel front me, maybe you gained weight, whatever, and you want to feel like a true goddess no matter your body size, because you will see my goddesses are all different ages, all different body sizes, and all freaking gorgeous. And so are you, sister. If you want to really feel amazing, no matter what you've been through in your life, come on My Goddess Getaways, Miami. The website is mygoddessgetaways.com, mygoddessgetaways.com. And you don't have to know anybody. In fact, many women come who don't know anybody. And they're scared, just like I was scared to go to that first retreat. I'll tell you what happened the last time I was able to do a Miami retreat a couple of years ago. A woman who listened to the podcast, she contacted me and said, I want to come, but am I too old? I'm like, absolutely not, sister. You got to come. Women in their 70s have come. Women of all ages have come. She was nervous, but she said, okay, I'm going to do this. She showed up, and the very first night we do this opening circle on Friday night, and she wasn't sharing a lot. And so as everybody was leaving for that first night, some went out to dinner, some went to the beach, some went to their rooms to rest. I checked in with her, and she said, I just feel this huge burden. I just have so much that I've been through. So I said, come with me, sister. And I took her down to the beach, just her and I. And I looked her in the eyes and I held her hands. And I said, tell me what is going on. And she shared, and she had shared some of this with me in advance of the retreat. She shared sexual harassment and abuse that she had been subject to. And as she cried, and I was able to look her in the eyes and hold space for her, I then looked at her and asked if she wanted to release that and for it to never be a burden on her again. To which, of course, she said yes. And then together we did these amazing exercises with her body of stomping it out and moving it out and saying no. And I taught her with her whole body to say no to harassment, no to the thoughts that she's a victim, no that anyone gets to get into her energy field. I mean, can you see us down on the beach? This is like maybe 8:00 at night. And even though people were around, we didn't care. This isn't about looking good for other people. This is about feeling amazing in yourself. And we were so powerful on that beach, letting it out. And this woman woke up and felt alive and beautiful and like a goddess. And by the end of the weekend, she looked like she was like 20 years younger. I mean, she looked like a little girl having fun, dancing. And that's what my goddess getaways are all about. You stepping into your truth, you stepping into your power, you rising up as the goddess, you defining what that is for you, you claiming that you're worthy and beautiful, you connecting with sisters, because when you want change and shift and growth, it doesn't happen by staying in the environment where you feel stuck. Like when you feel stuck, if you just stay in that environment, all those old feelings, all of the memory, even if you live with the most supportive people on earth, that environment just brings it back to you. And so you can't get unstuck just in that same space. You actually have to shift out of that space. A previous mentor, Gina DeVee, said to me, if you want to change anything in your life, you have to change either the situation or how you think about it. We know from the research that when you are stuck, changing your perspective is a massive, massive helper to do that, because you can't get unstuck in the same environment where you feel stuck. So me going to the beach this weekend, or me going on Jackie's retreat, or this woman coming on the goddess retreat a couple of years ago, you coming on my goddess getaways is going to give you that shift. Plus, we know for the research, when someone feels stuck, connecting to purpose, having that sense of meaning, who am I, is so powerful and is needed to get unstuck. Plus, having a mentor, someone to support you, being surrounded by people who love you and believe in you and cheerlead you, getting that opportunity to see what you're going to release and what you're going to step into and have fun. These are all research, proven techniques to get unstuck. And so, sister, if you felt stuck at all with the pandemic, and I think we all have, take your cute tushy right now over to mygoddessgetaways.com and sign up for this Miami retreat. Believe me, you're going to freaking love it. You're going to love it. And you're going to love yourself so much there and after. So that is my huge announcement. I'm so excited. I can't even take it. Remember, it's mygoddessgetaways.com. You must sign up now because the spots are going so quickly. I already have 4 women in my mailbox asking me questions about it, asking me about the hotel, asking me this, asking me that. So I know that more spots are going to go today. More spots are going to go tomorrow. Like, get on this, sister. And if you have any questions, just reach out to my team@purposegirl.com, team@purposegirl.com. We will help you with anything. We're even helping one woman who's never made flight arrangements for herself. We're helping to make those flight arrangements. So we are there to help you step into being that powerful, beautiful goddess that you are. So, sister, are you ready? Are you ready to feel so glamorous? Are you ready to feel so divine? And by the way, you don't have to already feel glamorous or beautiful or divine. You might be like, I can't go because I'm too fat. Women of all sizes come on my retreats and feel beautiful. Or you might be like, I can't go because I'm not beautiful and I bet all the other women are. No, we all sometimes have days where we feel ugly, we feel fat, we feel unworthy, nope. Those are just excuses. You are going to find these are the most down-to-earth, loving, unconditionally loving and accepting women on earth. And we are only going to see the beauty in you. That's all we're going to see. So make sure that you are coming. mygoddessgetaways.com. We're going to Miami. I feel like singing like Will Smith. We're going to Miami, Miami, Miami. We're going to Miami, Miami. Ah! You can tell I'm so excited. Okay, I love you so much. mygoddessgetaways.com. I am so rejuvenated after a weekend away. I want to give the same gift to you. Join me, sister. With that, I hope you loved this special episode of the Purpose Girl podcast. I know I love doing it for you. I know I'm so excited to get away with you. mygoddessgetaways.com. This is how we change the world, one woman at a time. And with that, my love, may you live purposefully. May you love yourself and may you love life. Bye for now.